on the continent of Doqi, within the first fragmentary world, over a vast sea stretching millions of miles, space twisted. A dimensional portal, only a few dozen feet wide, appeared. Two figures stepped out from within. "Father, where is this place?" After arriving in this world, Xiao surveyed the surroundings and asked. "This is the continent of Doqi," Xiaoyan replied. "We're still in the continent of Doqi? But wait, the outer region of the continent of Doqi has a circular sea, yet it's nowhere near as vast as this." Xiao looked around curiously. The energy in this world was still dense Doqi, but it felt much thicker than on the previous continent of Doqi. Moreover, Xiao had visited every corner of the continent of Doqi, including the massive sea surrounding it, which was over 100,000 miles wide. Yet, this place was completely unfamiliar to her. This sea stretched at least several million miles. Xiao extended her hand, grabbing at the void. The space directly twisted and shattered, but as she did so, she let out a soft exclamation. "Why does the space here seem so much more solid? Shouldn't someone with a 1-star Do Zone strength be able to affect the space? But here, it seems like only a 5-star Do Zone can distort it." Xiao's voice was filled with doubt. She felt that to shatter the space here, at least the strength of a 5-star Do Zone would be needed, and to create a new dimension, it would require at least the strength of a 4 or 5-star Do Sheng. This was definitely not the continent of Doqi she was familiar with. "Hee, did I ask you to take a look at this world?" Xiaoyan smiled faintly at Xiao, then placed his hand on her head. No fluctuations were felt. Everything seemed so natural. Yet, through this natural sense, Xiao could finally see the true face of this world. This was a world that spanned tens of millions of miles, 100, or even several hundred times larger than the continent of Doqi. In this world, there was a massive supercontinent stretching over tens of millions of miles. On the other side of the world, there were several other continents, each spanning tens of thousands of miles. Hundreds of continents were scattered around, and several of them were comparable in size to the continent of Doqi. In this world, continents made up less than 40% of the total landmass. The remaining 60% was covered by vast seas. Xiao had never seen such a grand world. If the continent of Doqi were placed here, it would seem like a small island next to the supercontinent. Xiao also made a shocking discovery. In this world, there were actually 17 Do D-level experts. Among them, the two strongest were far beyond what she could sense. Having reached the 1-star Do D level herself, she had a principle for sensing power. She couldn't detect those stronger than herself by more than 5 stars. This meant that the two strongest experts here were at least 6-star Do D level. As for the other 15 Do D experts, 6 of them were 1-star Do D, 4 were 2-star Do D, 2 were 3-star Do D, 2 were 4-star Do D, and 1 was a 5-star Do D. Below Do D, there were dozens of peak Do Sheng level experts. If this world were to battle the continent of Doqi, the continent of Doqi would stand no chance. "Is this place big?" Xiaoyan asked. "Big? It's almost beyond belief," Xiao exclaimed. Then, after a brief thought, she asked, "Father, we came here from the continent of Doqi. Could it be that our world is just a small world surrounding this vast one?" "Perhaps or perhaps not," Xiaoyan replied. "In ancient times, this world and ours, along with hundreds of others, were once a part of a unified whole. That was the complete continent of Doqi. That complete continent of Doqi was at least 10 times larger than the world we see now." He was being so direct with Xiao because of her age. Some transcendental matters were easier for her to accept than for people like Yao Lao. "You must have heard some legends from the continent of Doqi. In ancient times, the continent was teeming with countless races, and back then, Do D-level experts were not so rare." "I know. Grandpa Yao used to tell me stories about that when I was little," Xiao said. "Then don't you find it strange? When I fought the Soul Heavenly Emperor, 2 newly ascended Do D experts, the area affected reached the entire Central Plains. Though it wasn't enough to destroy even a tenth of the continent of Doqi, do you think the continent could have survived the battles of so many Do D experts in ancient times?" Xiaoyan analyzed the situation patiently, showing a fatherly care. "It seems it couldn't have survived," Xiao said after a moment of thought. That's right, the fragmented world. Xiaoyan thought this description was quite fitting. The Dragon Emperor back then did indeed shatter the continent of Doqi as if it were a plate. The world they were in now was the largest fragment among those broken pieces. Daddy, how did the continent of Doqi end up like this? Wasn't it fine before? Xiao soon asked. Let's go. We'll head to the nearest continent, about 1,000,000 miles away. There are some things I'll explain along the way, and all you need to do is listen, Xiaoyan said, his figure flashing as he flew toward the distant horizon. Daddy, can't we just use a spatial passage to jump there? Xiao soon asked, quickly following him. No, we'll fly directly, Xiaoyan replied with a smile. In the next several minutes, Xiaoyan explained some of the events from the ancient Doqi continent to Xiao Sun, using linear thinking. Once Xiao Sun got accustomed to the vastness of the former Doqi continent, Xiaoyan began introducing matters related to the Great Thousand Worlds and lower dimensions. Upon learning these things, Xiao Sun finally realized that the complete Doqi world of ancient times, within the so-called Great Thousand Worlds, was still smaller than any of the 10 major supercontinents. In the Great Thousand Worlds, the number of continents numbered in the hundreds of thousands or more. Xiao Sun felt as though she were listening to an unbelievable fairy tale. The relationship between the Great Thousand Worlds and the lower dimensions far exceeded her imagination in terms of scale. She also learned about the extraterritorial evil clan, who were entrenched at the edge of the world. She had never expected that the existence of these creatures would turn the lower dimensional worlds into a dangerous zone. Daddy, since the lower dimensional worlds are overrun by these extraterritorial evil clan members, why haven't they encountered them on our Doqi continent? Xiao soon asked. It's a matter of probability. Of the over 470 fragmented worlds, at least 150 have been discovered by the extraterritorial evil clan, and nearly 80 of them have been invaded. But those worlds have already been reclaimed by me, Xiaoyan explained. And what about this world? Xiao Sun asked next. Xiaoyan's answer made her shiver slightly. This world was once invaded by the extraterritorial evil clan several hundred years ago, and it was a genuine Earth sovereign who led the attack, Xiaoyan replied. But back then, a group of experts from the lower dimensional alliance, the Great Thousand Alliance, intervened and saved this world. That Earth sovereign was severely wounded and sealed somewhere in this world. Hearing this, Xiao Sun shuddered again. She hadn't imagined that this lower dimensional world was so dangerous, constantly at risk of becoming a target for the extraterritorial evil clan. With their overwhelming numbers and power, these creatures could easily crush and overwhelm any lower dimensional world, making it impossible to win or defeat them. Let's go to the Xiao Clan, Xiaoyan said, looking toward the continent ahead. Daddy, is there a Xiao Clan here too? Xiao soon asked. This world, Fragment World Number 1, is the largest. It has preserved an intact ancient continent. There are 20 Doqi tribes and about 13 or 14 Doqi sects still surviving here. Among them, 7 clans and 3 sects have Do-D level experts stationed. But unfortunately, the Xiao clan here hasn't produced a Do-D, only 3 Do Sheng Peak experts, Xiaoyan said, pointing to a medium-sized continent ahead, about 1,000,000 miles in size. The Xiao clan is here, and the continent is divided between 2 races. The Xiao clan occupies 2/3 of the land, while the Yin clan controls the remaining third. Oh, then let's go visit the Xiao clan. Daddy, aren't you planning to merge all the fragmented worlds? These separated races should also be merged, right? Our Xiao clan had fewer than 1,000 people in the original fragmented world, so we couldn't even be called a true race. Now, once we merge with all the other Xiao clans across the worlds, we won't have any population issues, Xiao Sun said, growing more excited as she imagined the grand scale and power of the unified Xiao clan. Seeing Xiao Sun's excited expression, Xiaoyan smiled helplessly. He hadn't told her the other matter, that he planned to merge these worlds in a completely new way. His goal was to have the Doqi continent transcend the scope of the lower dimensions, becoming a hidden space within the Great Thousand Worlds. In doing so, all the Doqi within the Doqi continent would be transformed into the higher-level spiritual energy of the Great Thousand Worlds. The bloodline of the Do-D was originally a product of the energy known as Do-Qi, combined with the Do-Chi continent. When Do-Chi is transformed into spiritual energy, this product is naturally meant to disappear or change. Xiao Yan had known this long before he returned to the Do-Chi continent, as he had already reached the Earth's supreme stage. However, Xiao Zhao, Xiao Lin, and the entire Xiao clan had not experienced any bloodline reaction. It seemed that to gain spiritual energy more powerful than Do-Chi, one must lose something equally important, the Do-Di bloodline. In the Great Thousand Worlds, spiritual energy cultivation is fair. Though everyone uses the most advanced spiritual energy, each person's cultivation starts from the first stage, moving through realms like the Divine Soul stage, Three Heavens stage, Supreme stage, and Heaven and Earth Supreme stage. If the Do-Di bloodline enters the Great Thousand Worlds, it would completely destroy this rule. The children of Supreme Beings are already at the Heaven-reaching stage. Those born of Earth Supremes are at the Supreme stage, and those born of Heavenly Supremes are Earth Supremes. Once a Dominator-level being has descendants, their starting point will be Heavenly Supreme. This is the rule in the Do-Chi continent, and it works there, but the Do-Chi continent is merely a small world compared to the Great Thousand Worlds. Small worlds have their own rules, and large worlds have theirs. When the rules of a small world clash with those of a large world, the result is always the same. The small world's rules must obey the large world's rules, unless the Do-Chi continent is a higher-level world, in which case the Do-Di bloodline could continue to exist. About a few minutes later, Xiao Yan and Xiao Zhao finally arrived at the continent. After crossing numerous mountain ranges, they came upon a massive city. The city was surrounded by a giant wall hundreds of meters high. Its size was comparable to the Central Plains, and it was only one of the 9 major regions under the Xiao clan's control. Surrounding these 9 regions were thousands of smaller cities. This was the 3rd Xiao domain. In this city, Xiao Zhao could already sense the presence of nearly 20 Do-Sheng powerhouses hidden within various parts of the city. The placement of these powerhouses seemed to form a formation. If activated, it would likely make even an 8-star Do-Sheng powerhouse wary. This entire city was as formidable as any of the Lei and Yin clans on the Do-Chi continent. Swish, swish. Around the city, large numbers of guard squads whizzed by. They wore dark blue armor, radiating an aura of slaughter and ruthlessness that made anyone who felt it hesitate to act. Even as Xiao Yan and Xiao Zhao passed by them slowly, the guards did not notice. This was the power of the Dimension Embryo. To them, Xiao Yan and Xiao Zhao appeared as insignificant as the grass and trees around them, treated as mere objects. This ability left Xiao Zhao somewhat astonished. "Father, what's our purpose here?" Xiao Zhao asked. "To clean up some things," Xiao Yan replied. "Hundreds of years ago, the Earth Sovereign who attacked here brought along dozens of Emperor-level evil demons. One of the Emperor-level branches targeted the Xiao Clan. In the end, they were sealed here, along with dozens of King-level evil demons." "Just the Emperor-level evil demons? Father could easily wipe them out," Xiao Zhao said. "Heh, I'll deal with the King-level evil demons myself," Xiao Yan said with a faint smile. But his next words made Xiao Zhao shiver slightly. "As for the Emperor-level evil demon, you'll handle that one." The Venom Demon Clan. This was a terrifying name passed down by older generations of experts. About 400 years ago, a strange and evil army, unknown where it came from, invaded the continent ruled by the Xiao and Yin clans. The army, numbering over 10 million, was led by 800 Venom generals, and above them were 36 Venom kings, all under the command of a super-powerful being known as the Venom Demon Emperor. This evil army called themselves the Venom Demon Clan. At the beginning of the war, the Venom Demon Clan began their attack from the outskirts of the continent, targeting the Xiao and Yin clans. At that time, the two clans didn't take the invasion seriously and only sent several hundred Do-Zun powerhouses and 6 Do-Sheng powerhouses to resist. But this resistance lasted less than a day before it completely collapsed. The Do-Zun and Do-Sheng powerhouses sent out were all slaughtered without the ability to fight back. Wherever the Venom Demon Clan's millions of venomous soldiers passed, billions of civilians were ruthlessly slaughtered. Some powerful figures above the Do-Ling stage had their souls corrupted by the demon's venomous energy and were transformed into Venom soldiers. The Do-Zun powerhouses were turned into Venom generals, and the 6 Do Shang powerhouses were transformed into lower-level Venom Kings. Mid-war period. In just half a month, more than a third of the continent had fallen under the attack of the Venom Demon Clan. The Venom Demon army continued to grow as they absorbed Venom soldiers along their path. The Xiao and Yin clans considered the Venom Demon Clan their mortal enemies and prepared for a desperate battle. The clan leader of the Xiao Clan personally led 200 Do Shang experts and thousands of Do Xun experts to engage in a decisive battle with more than 20 Venom Kings and hundreds of Venom generals at the eastern border of the continent. Meanwhile, the clan leader of the Yin clan led over 100 Do Shang experts and nearly 2,000 Do Xun experts to face off against a dozen Venom Kings and hundreds of Venom generals at the western border. Despite the Venom Demon clan's numerical disadvantage, their dark energy completely crushed Do Qi. At great cost, the Xiao Clan temporarily repelled the Venom Demon army at the eastern border by sacrificing over 100 Do Shang experts in a self-detonation. On the other hand, the Yin clan was severely defeated, with their clan leader heavily wounded. He, along with the surviving Do Shang experts, fled to the Xiao clan for reinforcements. Intensified war period. The Xiao and Yin clans regrouped the remaining forces and joined hands to set up a battle formation passed down from ancient times, the Do Di formation. This temporarily repelled the Venom Demon clan's offensive. However, the Venom Demon Emperor finally intervened and easily destroyed the formation. 3 peak Do Shang experts from the Xiao and Yin clans perished or were gravely injured from a single strike by the Venom Demon Emperor, causing the collapse of the 2 clans' top-level forces. Facing potential annihilation, they sought help from powerful forces on other continents, only to learn that the entire Do Qi world was in a similar crisis. On other continents, even Do Di experts had fallen. This was a catastrophe of world-spanning proportions. War reversal period. After occupying most of the Do Qi world, the evil army of the extraterritorial evil clan seemed to begin searching for something. Their large-scale search provided a brief respite for the many races in the Do Qi world. However, they lacked the strength to strike back against the evil army. Just then, another mysterious army of powerful experts appeared in the Do Qi world. They radiated a force opposite to the dark energy, a power that transcended Do Qi and rivaled dark energy itself. Although their numbers were only in the thousands, far fewer than the evil army, they fought alongside the races of the Do Qi world to resist the evil army and achieved crushing victories. This mysterious army was revered as the Divine Army by the people of the Do Qi world. Final war period. Thanks to the intervention of the Divine Army, the evil army was forced to abandon their search for whatever they were after and launched an all-out battle against the Divine Army. In the end, the evil army suffered a catastrophic defeat. It is said that the highest commander of the evil army was sealed away by one of the Divine Army's members in a location within the Do Qi world. The remaining evil emperors, including the Venom Demon Emperor, who had attacked the lands of the Xiao and Yin clans, were severely wounded and sealed in a region of the Xiao clan's third city. This area was later designated as a forbidden zone by the Xiao clan, and no one could approach it without the clan leader's permission. End of the war. The millions of powerful experts in the Do Qi world worshipped the Divine Army as gods, but they mysteriously disappeared from the world as if they had never existed. Despite this, the people of the Do Qi world continued to revere them as deities, offering their worship for centuries. And so, hundreds of years passed. Grand Forbidden Valley. Located at the edge of the Xiao clan's third city, this vast canyon is said to have been left behind by a sparring session between the clan leaders of the Xiao and Yin clans 1,000 years ago. Stretching for thousands of miles, it is surrounded by thick fog, with the canyon sides plunging steeply into the abyss. Hundreds of years ago, it was declared a forbidden zone by the Xiao clan. At this moment, 2 figures slowly descended from the sky to the edge of the Grand Forbidden Valley, Xiao Yin and Xiao Zhao. Their eyes focused on the deep, fog-covered canyon below. Xiao Yin used his dimensional power to observe everything beneath, while Xiao Zhao, with her vast soul perception from the Imperial realm, saw clearly what lay below. In the depths of the canyon, a massive black tower stood, hundreds of feet tall. Behind it, 32 black coffins, each over 10 feet long, were arranged ominously, giving off an eerie aura. However, Xiao Yin and Xiao Zhao's attention was focused on the towering black tower, where an elderly figure sat cross-legged. The old man wore rough cloth robes and appeared to have sat there for an incredibly long time, judging by the thick dust covering him, perhaps for decades or even centuries. But today, the peace was abruptly broken. As Xiao Zhao extended her soul force to probe the old man's strength, his brow suddenly twitched. His eyes, which had been closed for over a century, slowly opened. A hoarse, aged voice then emerged from his mouth. "Who dares to enter?" An ancient voice echoed from the depths of the valley, causing Xiao Sun to change her expression. She quickly withdrew her soul power, her eyes widening in shock as she gazed downward. Despite having reached the Do-D stage herself, the person below had been able to detect her probing. Could it be that this old man was also a Do-D powerhouse? "Dad, didn't you say the Xiao Clan's strongest warriors are only at the peak of Dosheng?" Xiao Sun turned to Xiao Yin and asked in confusion. "Heh, you're still too young. He's not a Do-D powerhouse, but he's one of the 3 peak Doshengs of the Xiao Clan. He just doesn't have enough source energy to advance to Do-D. As for you, a child who's just entered the Do-D stage, your experience can't compare to those old monsters who have lived for over 1,000 years. It's only natural that you'd be noticed," Xiao Yin said with a faint smile. His figure moved, and he sped toward the depths of the canyon. Xiao Sun pouted in dissatisfaction, but followed him down into the valley. The two of them slowly descended from above, landing in front of the elderly man sitting cross-legged in rough clothes. Xiao Yin respectfully bowed to the old man. Xiao Sun, seeing this, followed suit. "I can sense no aura from you," the elderly man said as he looked at Xiao Yin. His gaze shifted to Xiao Sun, his brows furrowing. "This aura? You have the bloodline of the Xiao Clan. This is a forbidden place. Who allowed you, a mere junior, to come here?" What's wrong with coming to a forbidden place?" Xiao Sun retorted coldly. She stepped forward, and in an instant, a supreme aura erupted from her body, shaking the very heavens and earth. The power contained within this aura, fueled by her bloodline, spread rapidly across the Xiao Clan continent. Within a radius of hundreds of thousands of miles, across 2 great regions and nearly 10,000 cities, all Xiao Clan members with strength below the Dosheng stage felt their bloodline power stir, causing a slight boost in their abilities. Sensing the bloodline power inside her, the elderly man's expression immediately turned from surprise to shock. His body trembled, not in fear, but in excitement. He stood up suddenly, took a step forward, and grabbed Xiao Sun's small hand. His expression was filled with intense emotion. "Do-D? A Do-D? Has the Xiao Clan finally produced a Do-D? Ha ha ha." The elderly man laughed joyfully, as if declaring to the heavens. Xiao Sun quickly pulled her hand away from his grasp and shot him a look, as if saying, "Weren't you just underestimating me?" At the same time, news of the appearance of a Do-D powerhouse spread like wildfire throughout the Xiao Clan. The entire clan was in an uproar. In the eastern part of the continent, hundreds of Dosheng-level auras erupted. These auras turned into pillars of light, shooting into the sky, and soon, all the Dosheng powerhouses flew in the direction of the 3rd city region. In the 1st city region, where the Xiao Clan's patriarch resided, over a dozen figures slowly floated into the air. In front of them stood a middle-aged man, the current patriarch of the Xiao Clan, Xiao Zhentian. Behind him were the clan's highest-ranking elders, all of whom were above the 8-star Dosheng level. "Patriarch, isn't that in the direction of the heavenly god ancestor?" one elder asked. "Has the heavenly god ancestor entered the Do-D stage?" Another elder wondered. "No, although the aura contains the powerful Xiao Clan bloodline, it's not from the heavenly god ancestor," Xiao Zhentian said, narrowing his eyes. "That aura feels more like it belongs to a child no older than several dozen years. Since when did the Xiao Clan give birth to such a powerhouse? I have no knowledge of this. Let's go. We must find out," Xiao Zhentian ordered. He extended his hand, and a space crack was instantly torn open in the air. His figure flashed into the crack, followed by the dozen or so elders. They, too, wanted to know what was going on. Meanwhile, in the Great Canyon, the elderly man continued to look at Xiao Sun with excitement. His reaction was so intense that even Xiao soon felt a little shaken. Was it really necessary to be this excited? Heavenly God Elder, my daughter is still young and naive. Please don't take offense, Xiao Yin said with a faint smile, stepping forward. The old man in rough clothing was named Xiao Heavenly God. He was the oldest living member of the Xiao Clan, having lived for over several thousand years. He was also the former clan leader of the Xiao Clan from the previous generation. He had survived the great catastrophe that befell the clan hundreds of years ago. After that, in order to prevent the evil spirits from escaping and causing harm to the billions of descendants of the Xiao Clan again, he chose to remain here, guarding the area. You're her father? Hearing Xiao Yan's words, Xiao Heavenly God looked at him with an even more astonished expression. Are you also a Dodi powerhouse? Xiao Yin smiled faintly, not answering the question, but in his heart, he thought, the strength of Earth Supreme surely can't be considered a Dodi anymore, right? Which region do you belong to? Now that a Dodi has been born in the clan, I should step down as the clan leader and let you two take over, Xiao Heavenly God said. Old Heavenly God, to be honest, we are indeed members of the Xiao Clan, but we are not from this world, Xiao Yin said. Not from this world? What do you mean by that? Xiao Heavenly God's heart shook upon hearing this. He looked at Xiao Yin and his companion in confusion. Old Heavenly God, we have little interest in the position of clan leader in this world. We came here to eliminate the Venom Demon Emperor and the dozens of Venom Demon Kings he controls, whom you have been suppressing, Xiao Yin said. What? Xiao Heavenly God was once again shocked. He had not expected that anyone would dare to mention eradicating these evil spirits, which had almost destroyed the Xiao Clan. However, as he thought about it, the two before him were both Dodi powerhouses, whose strength was beyond his comprehension. Perhaps they really could eliminate these potential dangers. Such a matter would be better discussed with all the Dosheng powerhouses in the clan, don't you think? Xiao Heavenly God said. At the very least, a sealing formation should be set up around this valley to prevent these evil spirits from escaping. I will set up the sealing formation, Xiao Yin said. With a wave of his sleeve, a beam of light shot out from his body. It took the form of a young man in white, who soared above the valley. A gentle light, almost like it could nurture all things, radiated from him. Soon, a vast protective barrier enveloped the valley. It was subtle, almost ethereal, allowing birds and beasts to pass through freely. How could a protective barrier that can't even stop birds and beasts contain the evil spirits that nearly destroyed the Xiao Clan? Xiao Heavenly God questioned. Old Heavenly God, rest assured. This barrier doesn't contain anything except the evil spirits, Xiao Yin said, giving another wave of his hand. As Xiao Yin waved his sleeve, Xiao Heavenly God felt the world before him suddenly flip. Everything became blurry. When he regained his senses, he found himself standing tens of thousands of miles away, outside the Grand Forbidden Valley. He gazed at the massive barrier enclosing the valley and could not fathom how such a powerful force had moved him here. Such power. A Dodi powerhouse wouldn't possess it, would they? Buzz. Just as Xiao Heavenly God was moved outside the barrier, the space nearby began to distort. More and more spaces twisted, and from them emerged the Dosheng powerhouses of the Xiao Clan. However, far from here, tens of thousands of miles away, figures appeared who did not belong to the Xiao Clan. Tens of thousands of miles away, on a mountain peak, 3 figures emerged. They were wearing fire-red robes, with flame patterns on their foreheads indicating their identities. They were the clan leader, Great Elder, and Grand Elder of the Yin Clan. Clan leader, could it be true that the Xiao Clan has given birth to a Dodi powerhouse? If so, our Yin Clan status in this continent will once again drop, the Great Elder of the Yin Clan said. Alas, the Dochi continent is lacking in origin energy. If we had enough, our Yin Clan wouldn't be without a Dodi, the Yin Clan leader sighed. Let's just wait and see. At the same time, on various continents and the supercontinent, millions of miles away, experts from all races felt the presence of the Dodi aura within the Xiao Clan. Their reactions were varied. In this world, whenever a race produces a Dodi powerhouse, that race's status undergoes a drastic change. Outside the Grand Forbidden Valley, those Xiao Clan powerhouses who had arrived began inquiring Xiao Heavenly God about the Do-Di aura. Meanwhile, deep inside the valley, Xiao Yin and Xiao Sun were staring at the massive black tower, several hundred meters tall, and the dozens of black coffins behind it. How about it, are you ready? Xiao Yin looked at Xiao Sun with a faint smile and said, "Let it out, I'll beat it to death. I promise you." Xiao Yin gently patted Xiao Zhao's head, giving a faint smile. He then flicked his finger, and a beam of light, infused with terrifying destructive power, pierced through space and struck the black tower.